The pregnant woman's scream pierced through the rain as her car spun wildly across the highway, metal scraping against the guardrail. Marcus Thompson didn't think he just slammed his brakes, his old pickup truck fishtailing as he pulled over, leaving his sleeping daughter Maya in the back seat to race toward the smoking sedan. Before we dive into this incredible story of courage and unexpected connections, make sure to smash that subscribe button, because tomorrow we have an extraordinary tale about a janitor who discovered something life-changing in a billionaire's office. Marcus could see her through the shattered windshield, young, blonde, very pregnant, and bleeding from a gash on her forehead. Her hands clutched her swollen belly as tears streamed down her face. The car was crumpled against the concrete barrier, steam hissing from the engine, the acrid smell of burning rubber filling the air. "Hold on," Marcus called out, yanking at the jammed driver's door. His construction-worn hands gripped the metal, muscles straining. 20 years of manual labor had built strength in his arms, but this door wasn't budging. The woman's eyes met his pale blue, terrified, pleading. "My baby," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the rain pounding on the highway. "Please, something's wrong with my baby." Marcus circled to the passenger side, finding it less damaged. He pulled off his jacket, wrapping it around his elbow, and smashed through the already cracked window. Glass scattered across the seats as he reached in, unlocking the door from inside. The woman was trembling, her designer dress soaked with rain and blood. "What's your name?" Marcus asked gently, assessing her injuries while trying to keep her calm. "Sarah," she gasped. "Sarah, I can't. The contractions started when I crashed. It's too early. I'm only 7 months." Marcus's heart sank. His own wife had gone into premature labor with Maya 8 years ago. He'd lost Patricia that night, though the doctors managed to save their daughter. The memory still haunted him, the beeping machines, the fluorescent lights, Patricia's hand going cold in his. "Listen to me, Sarah," he said firmly, helping her shift toward the passenger door. "We're going to get you help. My truck's right there. Can you move?" She nodded, then cried out as another contraction hit. Marcus supported her weight as they struggled out of the wreckage. She was small, maybe early 20s, with an expensive-looking watch and manicured nails that seemed at odds with the lonely stretch of highway where she'd crashed. As they reached his truck, 4-year-old Maya stirred in her booster seat. Her brown eyes widened at the sight of the injured woman. "Daddy, is she hurt?" "She needs help, baby girl. Can you be brave for Daddy?" Maya nodded solemnly, clutching her stuffed elephant tighter. Marcus helped Sarah into the passenger seat, noting how she kept looking over her shoulder, as if expecting someone to appear. Her fear seemed to go beyond the accident and her condition. "The nearest hospital is 30 miles, Marcus said, starting the engine. "But there's a clinic about 10 minutes away. They should be able to—" "No hospitals," Sarah interrupted, panic flashing in her eyes. "Please, no hospitals. They'll find me." Marcus paused, his hand on the gear shift. "Who'll find you?" Sarah's face crumpled. "I can't. I shouldn't have run. But I had to protect my baby." He would have. Another contraction cut off her words. Marcus made a decision. He'd seen enough domestic violence cases on his construction sites to recognize the signs. "Okay, no hospitals yet, but we need to get you somewhere safe and get medical help. I know someone." He pulled out his phone, dialing with one hand while merging back onto the rain-slicked highway. "Denise, it's Marcus. I need you to meet me at your house. Bring your medical bag." "Yes, it's an emergency. Pregnant woman, maybe in premature labor. I'll explain when I get there." Denise Williams had been a neighbor and family friend for years, a retired Army medic who'd helped deliver Maya when the ambulance hadn't arrived in time. If anyone could help without involving hospitals, it was her. The 10-minute drive felt like hours. Sarah's contractions were coming faster, and she gripped the door handle with white knuckles. Maya sang softly in the back seat, trying to help the only way a 4-year-old knew how. "You're going to be okay," Marcus kept repeating, though he wasn't sure if he was trying to convince Sarah or himself. "Both of you are going to be okay." Sarah's eyes met his in the rearview mirror. "Why are you helping me? You don't even know me." Marcus thought of Patricia, of how a stranger had stopped to help when she'd gone into labor at a gas station. How that kindness had given him a few more precious hours with his wife before everything changed. "Because it's the right thing to do," he said simply. They pulled into Denise's driveway as the rain began to let up. The older woman was already on the porch, medical bag in hand, her gray hair pulled back in a practical bun. She took one look at Sarah and immediately went into medic mode. "How far apart are the contractions?" she asked, helping Sarah inside. 5 minutes, maybe less, Sarah gasped. And you're 7 months? Any complications with the pregnancy? Sarah shook her head, then hesitated. I need to tell you something. My father is Judge Harrison Whitfield. I've been missing for 3 days. Everyone thinks I was kidnapped, but I ran. The baby's father, he's dangerous, connected. He threatened to take the baby once it's born, said I'd never see it again. I couldn't let that happen. Marcus and Denise exchanged glances. Judge Whitfield was all over the news. His daughter's disappearance had been the top story for days. The media was calling it a kidnapping, possibly connected to one of the judge's controversial rulings. But here she was, very much not kidnapped. Just a terrified young woman trying to protect her unborn child. Right now, none of that matters, Denise said calmly, guiding Sarah to the guest bedroom she'd converted into a makeshift examination room years ago. Let's focus on you and this baby. Over the next hour, Denise worked with military precision. Marcus kept Maya occupied in the living room, but his thoughts kept drifting to the bedroom, where Sarah's cries grew more intense. The storm outside had passed, leaving an eerie quiet, broken only by the sound of her labor. What happens next will change everything Marcus thought he knew about sacrifice, reveal a truth that will shake the foundations of power in their city, and remind us all that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is trust a stranger. If you're riveted by this story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more heart-pounding tales of everyday heroes. Denise emerged from the bedroom, her expression grave. The contractions have stopped for now, but she needs a hospital. The baby's in distress, and I don't have the equipment here if something goes wrong. No hospitals, Sarah's weak voice called from the room. Please, I can't. He has people everywhere. The moment I show up in the system. Marcus stood, his decision made. Then we need to get your father here. He's a judge, he can protect you. You don't understand, Sarah said as Marcus entered the room. She looked even paler against the white sheets, her hands protective over her belly. My father doesn't know who the Father Island. When he finds out, it'll destroy everything. His career, his reputation. Who is it, Sarah? Denise asked gently. Sarah closed her eyes. Thomas Brennan. The name hit the room like a thunderclap. Thomas Brennan, the police commissioner's son, married with 3 kids, being groomed for a congressional run. The golden boy of the city's political elite. He said it was love, Sarah whispered. I was interning at the courthouse, and he was so charming. By the time I realized what he really was, I was already pregnant. When I told him, he changed. Said I'd ruin him, that I had to get rid of it. When I refused, he got violent. Then came the threats he'd make. Sure, I was declared unfit. Take the baby. Make me disappear if necessary. He has the connections to do it. Marcus felt rage building in his chest. Men who used their power to hurt women, to threaten children, they were the worst kind of coward. We're not going to let that happen. You can't promise that, Sarah said. You don't know these people. Maybe not, Marcus said, thinking of Maya playing in the next room, of all the times he'd had to be both mother and father to her, protector and provider. But I know what it's like to fight for your child, and you're not fighting alone anymore. He pulled out his phone. What's your father's private number? Sarah hesitated, then recited it. Marcus dialed, putting it on speaker. Judge Whitfield's office, a crisp voice answered. This is Marcus Thompson. I have Sarah. She's safe but needs medical attention. She's in premature labor. There was a pause, then rustling. Who is this? If this is some kind of daddy? Sarah's voice was weak but clear. It's me. I'm okay. I'm sorry I ran. I was scared. Sarah! Oh God, Sarah, where are you? The whole city's been looking. Sir, Marcus interrupted. We need to meet somewhere safe. Your daughter says the baby's father is dangerous, that he has people watching the hospitals. She needs medical care, but she needs protection first. Another pause. When Judge Whitfield spoke again, his voice was steel. Who's the father, Sarah? Sarah looked at Marcus, tears streaming down her face. He nodded encouragingly. Thomas Brennan, she whispered. The silence stretched so long, Marcus thought the call had dropped. Then, I'll handle this. Send me your location. I'm coming with a private medical team and security I trust. Mr. Thompson, whatever happens, don't let her out of your sight. 20 minutes later, a convoy of black SUVs pulled into Denise's quiet suburban street. Judge Harrison Whitfield stepped out tall, silver-haired, with the bearing of a man used to command. But when he saw his daughter through the window, his professional facade cracked. He rushed inside, falling to his knees beside Sarah's bed. "My baby girl, I'm so sorry. I should have seen it. Should have protected you. I'm sorry, Daddy. I thought if I disappeared, if everyone thought I was taken, he'd leave the baby alone. I didn't know what else to do." "You survived," the judge said firmly. "That's all that matters. The rest we'll handle." The medical team moved in efficiently, setting up IV lines and monitoring equipment. The lead doctor, a woman with kind eyes, examined Sarah quickly. "We need to move her. The baby needs to be delivered. Now she's showing signs of placental abruption. Every minute counts." "Where?" Marcus asked. "I've arranged a private medical facility," Judge Whitfield said. "Off the books. Thomas Brennan won't find her there." As they prepared to move Sarah, she grabbed Marcus's hand. "Come with me, please. You saved my life. I can't do this alone." Marcus looked at Maya, who was peeking around the doorframe. Denise stepped forward. "I'll watch her. Go." The ride to the private clinic was tense. Sarah's contractions had returned with a vengeance, and her grip on Marcus's hand was vice-like. Judge Whitfield sat on her other side, on the phone with someone, his voice low and intense. "I don't care about the political ramifications," Marcus heard him say. "You get arrest warrants ready. The moment my grandson is safely delivered, Thomas Brennan is going down for assault, terroristic threats, and attempted kidnapping. Yes, I have proof. My daughter's testimony and injuries. I'll handle the commissioner myself." The clinic was discreet, hidden behind the facade of an office building. The medical team rushed Sarah into surgery, while Marcus and the judge were left in a pristine waiting room. "Thank you," Judge Whitfield said quietly, staring at his hands. "When she disappeared, I thought, I blamed myself for every enemy I'd made, every harsh sentence I'd handed down. I never imagined the danger was from someone I trusted." "She's strong," Marcus said. "She'll pull through this." "You have a daughter?" "Maya. She's 4. Lost her mother when she was born." The judge's eyes softened. "Then you understand. The fear, the responsibility, the weight of trying to protect them from a world that seems determined to hurt them." They sat in silence for a while. Two fathers united by circumstance and worry. "What you did today," the judge continued, "stopping for a stranger, putting yourself at risk, not many would have." "Someone stopped for my wife once," Marcus said. "Gave me a few more hours with her before she passed. Sometimes kindness gets passed along in ways we don't expect." A commotion in the hallway made them both stand. Raised voices, authoritative demands. Through the glass doors, they could see uniformed officers arguing with the clinic's security. "He found us," Judge Whitfield said grimly. "Brennan must have tracked the ambulances." The doors burst open. Thomas Brennan strode in handsome, entitled, with the confidence of a man who'd never faced real consequences. 2 uniformed officers flanked him. "Judge Whitfield," he said smoothly, ignoring Marcus entirely. "I heard Sarah was found. Terrible ordeal. I came as soon as I could." "Get out," the judge said quietly. "Now, Harrison, I know you're upset, but Sarah and I need to talk about our child. Surely you understand." "Your child?" Judge Whitfield's voice was dangerous. "The child you threatened to steal? The child whose mother you assaulted?" Brennan's mask slipped for just a moment, revealing something ugly underneath. "Be careful, Judge. Accusations like that can end careers. Yours and mine." "I'm counting on it," the judge replied. He pulled out his phone, showing a recording app. "Every threat you made to my daughter, every text, every voicemail, she saved them all." Brennan's face went pale. He turned to the officers. "Arrest him. He's interfering with—" "Actually," one of the officers said, pulling out cuffs. "We're here for you, Mr. Brennan. Judge Whitfield called ahead. We're with Internal Affairs, investigating corruption in the department. Your father's already in custody." The look of shock on Brennan's face was worth everything. As they cuffed him, he snarled at the judge. "You've ruined everything. Your career is over. No one crosses the Brennan family." "My grandson will never know your name," Judge Whitfield said calmly. "And that's worth any career." As they led Brennan away, a nurse appeared in the doorway smiling. "Judge Whitfield, would you like to meet your grandson? Both mother and baby are stable." They rushed to Sarah's room, where she lay exhausted but radiant, holding a tiny bundle. The baby was small but perfect, his cries strong and healthy. "He's early, but he's a fighter," Sarah said, looking up at Marcus with tears in her eyes. Like his guardian angel. What will you name him? Marcus asked, moved by the sight of new life after so much fear and pain. Sarah looked at her father, then at Marcus. Harrison Marcus Whitfield, after the two men who saved us. 6 months later, Marcus stood in Judge Whitfield's chambers, Maya fidgeting beside him in her new dress. The judge had insisted on personally handling the adoption finalization for a child in Maya's daycare, a small gesture of gratitude that meant everything. Mr. Thompson, the judge said after the proceedings, I've been discussing something with Sarah. She started a foundation for women escaping domestic violence, providing legal help and safe housing. We need someone to oversee the construction of our first shelter. Someone we trust. Marcus smiled, thinking of how one rainy night had changed so many lives. I'd be honored. Sarah entered with little Harrison on her hip. The baby immediately reached for Marcus, who'd become a regular visitor. Uncle Marcus! He's talking already? Marcus laughed, taking the baby. A few words, Sarah said. She looked healthier now, the fear gone from her eyes. Thank you, doesn't seem like enough for what you did. You already named your son after me, Marcus said. That's more than enough. Actually, Judge Whitfield interjected. There's one more thing. The city council voted to give you a commendation for heroism. Apparently, stopping to help a stranger in need still means something. As they gathered for a photo, the judge, Sarah with Harrison, Marcus with Maya, Marcus thought about the threads that connected them all. How a moment of kindness could unravel corruption, save lives, and create a family broader than blood. Later, as he drove home with Maya chattering about her new friend Harrison, she asked, Daddy, why did you stop that night? You always tell me not to talk to strangers. Marcus smiled in the rearview mirror. Because sometimes, baby girl, being human means taking risks to help another human. That lady needed help, just like Mommy did once. Is that why she named the baby after you? Part of it, yeah. Maya was quiet for a moment. I'm glad you stopped, Daddy. Harrison's my best friend now. As they pulled into their driveway, Marcus's phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. First shelter breaks ground next month. We're calling it Patricia's Place, if that's okay. Marcus typed back with tears in his eyes. She would have loved that. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of purple and gold. Somewhere in the city, Thomas Brennan sat in a federal prison cell, his family's empire crumbling. Judge Whitfield had used every connection he had to expose the web of corruption, making enemies but gaining something far more valuable, the respect of a daughter who'd almost lost everything. And in a modest house on the east side, Marcus Thompson tucked his daughter into bed, grateful for the strange turns life could take. He'd lost his wife but found purpose. He'd stopped to help a stranger and gained an extended family. Daddy, Maya's sleepy voice called as he turned off the light. Yeah, baby? You're a hero, right? Like in my books? Marcus thought about it. No, baby, heroes in books are special. I'm just a dad who tries to do the right thing. That makes you special to me, she murmured, already drifting off. Marcus stood in her doorway for a long moment, watching her sleep. Through her window, he could see the first stars appearing. Patricia would have been proud, he thought. Proud that he'd raised Maya to have a big heart. Proud that he'd stopped that night on the highway. Proud that love and kindness could still triumph over power and fear. His phone buzzed again. Judge Whitfield. Family dinner Sunday? Sarah insists on cooking, and Harrison keeps asking for Uncle Marcus. We'll be there, Marcus typed back. Sometimes the most profound connections came from the most unexpected moments. A crash on a rainy highway had revealed corruption, saved lives, and forged bonds that no blood relation could match. It had reminded them all that in a world of power plays and politics, simple human decency could still change everything. As Marcus headed to his own room, he paused by the photo on the hallway wall, him and Patricia on their wedding day. I'm doing my best, baby, he whispered. Teaching Maya to be like you, to help, to care, to never walk past someone in need. The house settled into peaceful quiet. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new opportunities to make a difference. But tonight, a single father and his daughter slept soundly, knowing they were part of something bigger, a network of souls who'd chosen love over fear, justice over corruption, and family over convention. And somewhere across town, in a nursery decorated with elephants and stars, little Harrison Marcus Whitfield slept peacefully, his very existence, a testament to the power of one person stopping to help another on a dark and stormy night. The ripples of kindness, once started, never truly end. They spread outward, touching lives in ways we can't imagine, building bridges where walls once stood, and reminding us all that in our shared humanity lies our greatest strength. If this story of courage, compassion, and unexpected family touched your heart, please subscribe to our channel for more incredible true stories of everyday heroes. Click the bell icon to never miss an upload and check out one of the 2 amazing stories on your screen right now. Until next time, remember sometimes the smallest act of kindness can change the world.